Who was Durin the First? Why was he called the Deathless? And what was his legacy? Durin the First was one of the 7 fathers of the dwarves. He was created by the valar Aulë. Aulë created all the substances in the earth, and he desired for the coming of the children of Ilúvatar, so he can teach them about the lore and crafts. Aulë was impatient for the creation of the children, and he started with his own creation. So in that moment, he created the dwarves. And since the design was yet unclear to Aulë, and with Melkor's power running over the earth, he wanted them to be strong and unyielding. In that moment, the 7 dwarf fathers were born. When his creation was complete, he even taught them the speech that he devised for them. That language was called Khazad-Dûm. Ero found out what Aulë was creating, and he stopped him and said, "Why hast thou done this? Why dost thou attempt a thing which thou knowest is beyond thy power and thy authority?" Aulë did not possess the flame imperishable. Only Ero did, which means that the dwarves only moved if Aulë thought of them. Otherwise, they would be laying there helpless. Aulë excused himself. He did not meant to gain lordship or wanted to mock the children of Ilúvatar. The desire of making things is in his heart. Then Aulë picked up a hammer to smite the dwarves, and he had tears in his eyes. The dwarves shrank from the hammer and were afraid. They even begged for mercy to Ilúvatar. Then Ilúvatar stopped Aulë and accepted the dwarves as his adopted children. They would now have a mind of their own and would be able to speak with their own voices. There was only one condition: they shall sleep in darkness under the stone and would only wake up after the awakening of the firstborn. Durin was placed alone deep under Mount Gundabad, the northern end of the Misty Mountains. If you want to have a full video about the valar Aulë, then write in the comment section Aulë the Smith. After the awakening of the elves during the Years of the Trees, Durin woke up and walked alone along the Misty Mountains, and he named the nameless hills and dells. When he came upon Lake Mirrormere, he looked down at the water and saw a crown made of 7 stars upon his head, and took this as a sign and erected a stone to remember this place. And there in the caves above the lake he founded the great city of Khazad-Dûm. There is a song of Durin, which Gimli tells during their travels through Moria. The song goes as followed. The world was young, the mountains green, no stain yet on the moon was seen. The words were laid on stream or stone, when Durin woke and woke alone. He named the nameless hills and dells, he drank from Riet and tasted wells. He stooped and looked in Mirrormere, and saw a crown of stars appear, as gems upon a silver thread above the shadow of his head. The world was fair, the mountains tall, in elder days before the fall of mighty kings in Nargothrond and Gondolin, who now beyond the western seas have passed away. The world was fair in Durin's day. A king he was on carven throne, in many pillared halls of stone, with golden roof and silver floor, and runes of power upon the door. The light of sun and star and moon, in shining lamps of crystal hue, undimmed by cloud or shade of night, they shone forever fair and bright. Their hammer on the anvil smote, their chisel clove and graver wrote. Their forge was blade and bound was hilt, the delver mined the mason built. Their barrel pearl and opal pale, and metal wrought like fish's mail. Buckler and corset, axe and sword, and shining spears were laid on hoard. And where it then were Durin's folk, beneath the mountains, music woke. The harpers harped, the minstrels sang, and at the gates the trumpets rang. The world is grey, the mountains old, the forge's fire is ashen cold. No harp is rung, no hammer falls, the darkness dwells in Durin's halls. The shadow lies upon his tomb in Moria, in Khazad-Dûm, but still the sunken stars appear in dark and windless Mirrormere. There lies his crown in water deep, till Durin wakes again from sleep. Durin died of old age during the First Age, and he was the oldest dwarf who ever lived. He died at an age of 2,395 years old. That is 10 times longer than any normal dwarf, and that is why he was called Durin the Deathless. But that is not the only reason for that name. As heard in Durin's song earlier, till Durin wakes again from sleep. It was believed that Durin would reincarnate 6 more times, and each time he would be king of Durin's folk. They would give him the name of Durin, even would live longer than any regular dwarf, and it is also believed that he would have the memories of his previous lives. He would be, as it were, reborn. So thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, hit a like button and consider subscribing for more Middle-earth content. If you want to see an interesting what if scenario, you better click this next video.